What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Schixo podcast. The jury is finally in. The poll has ended. You guys have voted, and barely, just barely, one topic beat out the other. So the topic we're talking about is dating with different belief systems. Don't worry, everybody who voted for black businesses, that is still coming because that's one of my favorite topics that I really, really, really want to get into. But I'll save that for another day. So today, the question is, can people with different belief systems be in a relationship, a healthy, fruitful relationship? The short answer is, mind your business, it's up to them. The long answer is it all depends on their level of spirituality, not their level of religion. What's the difference? What's the difference between the two? Your spirituality is your inner peace. That's your inner relationship with your higher being. Your religion is your man-made, organized platform in which you have rules and books that you live by. So, me personally, I think in society we are way too focused on the religion aspect. And we're not focused enough on our actual spirituality, our actual inner peace, our actual connection with God or whatever God you believe in. I think that it has become a little bit ridiculous how much people focus on the actual church and not their own inner peace, like their own inner relationship, their own inner connection with everything around them. I think differently than a lot of people do. I think a lot differently than a lot of people do. I see the world in a lot of different ways than most people do. Now, I've met some people who really get it, who really understand where it is that I'm coming from when I speak on these topics. I am solely focused on the spiritual aspect of my life. I'm no longer focused on religion or a church or anything like that, because those things never brought me inner peace. I've never felt more at peace before I started focusing on the spiritual side of myself. And a lot of people don't know this, but my wife wasn't like the most diehard Christian when me and her got together. Like, that's just not how it was. Um, I was strong into it. I was all like, gay marriage is wrong and I got to do communion and all this different stuff. And I wasn't fully at peace until I started to actually dive into myself spiritually, my higher self, meditation. And with that being said, I will say in my own personal experience that I did have a relationship before my wife where that didn't work out. I was Christian. She was atheist. And of course, for obvious reasons that was never going to work, but it didn't work out. My religion got in the way of a lot of my decisions that I was making in my relationship. And just led to a lot of confusion and a lot of discord, and it just wasn't ever going to work out. Fast forward to when I started dating my wife, and like I said, she wasn't the most diehard Christian. Yes, she believed in God. She believed in Jesus. Of course I did, because I was, at church every Sunday and all that stuff. But then, like I said, I really started diving into my own spiritual self. I took a step back from the religion aspect, and I started focusing on my inner peace, my inner connection with everything around me, nature, the moon, the stars, all that stuff. And I started feeling more at peace. We both started feeling more at peace. We started feeling closer to each other. Things started feeling like we were doing them the right way, finally. I had never felt that before. So long answer is maybe people with different religions will struggle to make it work. And that is a high possibility. Maybe they will struggle to make things work because they are living by a rule system that conflicts with one another. But the thing about spirituality is that there is no book that you live by in spirituality. In spirituality, all you're doing is connecting with everything that's around you, because every single thing is living, even the things that don't look like they are. Your couch has living energy in it. Your walls, the walls of your house have living energy in it. Your car has living energy in it. Everything around us, the things that they call inanimate objects, they're not inanimate objects. They're living things. Everything around us is living, and everything around us can be connected with. And it wasn't until I realized that I really started to get an understanding of who I was as a person. I got an understanding of my marriage, and things started to click for me because I started focusing on the spiritual aspect of things. Now, when it came to the religion aspect of things, I had trouble clicking with other people. And I know a lot of Christians will probably say, well, as a Christian, there's going to be a lot of people in the world that you just don't mesh with because they're not living the right way. I could go on a long rant about that, but I will say this in short. Some of the nicest people I've ever met, some of the people I've clicked with the most, some of the people who me and them have understood each other on a real level, they were not Christian. They didn't have a religion, really. They were more focused on understanding the world around them rather than focusing solely on one religion, one book. So the thing is, it's completely up to the people who are dating each other whether or not it works out. It's completely up to them. The thing is, it's not really anybody else's business besides theirs, whether or not they want to make that work. If a Christian and a Muslim want to date each other, that's nobody's business. Even though everybody will try to make it their business, that's nobody's business. If a Buddhist and somebody who practices Hinduism want to date each other, why is that anybody's business? It's not. We as a society are so obsessed with these rules that have been placed in front of us by a book, and I'm not trying to devalue the Bible or anything like that. I'm just simply saying that spirituality is something, it'll take you to a different level of understanding than you had before, and you'll look at things a lot differently. You'll look at different situations a lot differently, and you'll be able to click with more people on a higher level than you would before. Because when you do study the Bible, or you do study the Quran, or any other book, any other religious book that's out there, the Book of Mormon, all that stuff, when you do study those religious books, you tend to close yourself off to other people who might have something very positive to feed into your life, or somebody that you would have a very strong connection with. And that's really unfortunate to do that to yourself. But that's what a lot of people will do. And me, I'm just a free thinker. I have a lot of questions about everything. I question everything now. And so when I was coming up with this topic, I was thinking to myself, man, like, seeing the world the way that I see it now, I can't really think of there being a problem with two different religions dating each other. And I know Christians say that, Bible says don't be unequally yoked and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I get that. But that goes back to what I was saying earlier, where I'm more focused on the spiritual aspect of things rather than the religion aspect of things now. And I feel at peace. So I guess the answer is yes, people with different belief systems can date. And it can be a healthy relationship. And it can be a long-lasting one, a fruitful one. One that flourishes, one that's very successful, one that brings about a lot of powerful change or powerful ownership together as a power couple. Yes, that can happen. Absolutely. But I do believe it can only happen if the two people that are together shift their focus to their spirituality and inner peace. Rather than religious organization. Now, this, once again, is not an attack on anybody's religion. I know I keep bringing up Christians, but that's the one that I know the most because that's what I grew up in. I can't really speak too heavily on Muslim and Buddhist and Hindu and atheist and all that stuff. I can't really speak on it because I don't know it like that. But I know Christianity. So that's why that's the one I keep bringing up. So if you're taking that as an attack, it's not. But this is a no filter podcast and I don't hold my tongue on this stuff. This is just how I feel. I'm sure there will be people who will want to debate me on these types of topics, and believe me, I'm more than ready. Because when we do debate, I will have a lot of questions for you to see if you can answer them. But regardless of that fact, once again, short answer is mind your business. Why does it concern you? And the long answer is it could be so successful if both parties involved have found their inner peace. That's all I have for you guys today. Don't forget, those of you who are uploading for 50 days straight on your 50-day challenge, don't forget to add your hashtag 50-day challenge, hashtag no filter podcast, hashtag Schixo podcast. Don't forget. You can follow me on Twitter at Schizomania and on Instagram at Schixo Forever. If there's anything that anybody would like to challenge me on as it relates to this podcast, I'm all for it. Just keep it healthy. I'm not about to argue with anybody, but we'll have a healthy debate with anybody. But if you come into the debate trying to convince me that you are right, then you have already lost me. That's all I got, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.